Hey guys! I feel like every time I have made a video so far, I have been sick, or I sound sick, and I'm very frustrated with it. So I apologize for my voice if it is unclear in any way. Today I wanted to talk about the importance of a win, for ourselves and for other people. I get into these really crappy positions sometimes where I get really messy and really lazy, and I really don't feel like I have a purpose in life, and I don't feel motivated to do anything, and that includes clean. Like, you get into this mindset of like, why am I gonna clean up if it's just gonna get dirty again? And nothing works out ever, and it just keeps getting worse and worse, and it's a vicious cycle. But then sometimes you'll have a single win. It can be anything. Somebody can compliment you, somebody can say, I need your help, or we couldn't do this without you, or just thanks you. For me, a week or so ago, I was at a paint night, and I won a raffle that my mom had put me in, and I didn't know that she put me in it, but I won twice in a row 2 Coach wallets. And that was enough for me to get super excited and feel like I had a win. So I went home that night and I cleaned up my entire room, and I cleaned the kitchen, and I did all my laundry, and by midnight I was like so motivated to do all this business work that I normally put off and avoid. And that got me thinking, if I did that well off of a single win like that, why am I keeping that to myself? Why am I not giving away wins to other people all the time? So there are 2 ways that I want to talk about this. Letting ourselves win and letting other people win. And so I don't lose track of my thoughts, I want to talk about first letting ourselves win. Majority of the time, people will not give away wins to you because it's pride, and they're in this mindset of if they win, then I lose, which I'll get to that. But so they get really bitter, and they don't like to let you know that you're doing a good job or anything. It's completely necessary for us to give ourselves wins, and the way we do that is we just sit down and say, okay, how did I win today? How am I winning in my current situation? And for me, I showered in a warm shower today. That's a win. I woke up at the sunrise today, and I saw these beautiful clouds, and I still had time to go back to sleep. That was a win, and that was just a really special moment for me. I love sunrises and sunsets. I have healthy food, and at the same time, I just got to eat a tasty cake. There's so many options. That was a win for me, but I've gotten to eat really healthily over the last couple weeks and everything. That's a win. And so, yeah, just counting up those things, you start to change your perspective, and you start to see, like, hey, maybe I'm not so much a loser, and you just start to feel a little less hopeless or helpless when you look at what you have and what you have to offer. And so, if nobody around you is willing to give you a win, you have to be willing to give yourself a win. At the same time, you have to be extremely willing to give somebody else a win. And for that, if you let your team fail, if you let somebody on your team fail, then you are automatically letting yourself fail. It doesn't take anything away from you when you compliment somebody else. Whenever I go out, I always compliment my waitresses, my cashiers, even my customers. Whenever I see somebody and I like something about them, I tell them, because think about how good it feels to you. Like, they're feeling that way, and how it feels when you have a win and somebody says something like, hey, I couldn't have done this without you, thank you. How much more motivated you are, and how happy you are to do miserable cleaning work or business work or just things that you wouldn't normally be excited about. So at work and at home, these are the most important things. These are the most important places for us to be putting this into practice. At work, just say to somebody like, hey, I really appreciate you putting in extra effort when you did this, and say something specific, and they'll feel good, and that means that they'll feel you're giving them a space for them to relax, and a space for them to feel more comfortable with the work that they're doing. And when we feel relaxed, we actually put out better ideas, and we just create a better environment. So you're creating the environment that you are in. And at home, go, like, we want our significant others to tell us how much we mean to them. So why don't we do that for them first, you know? Like, I understand that it's a perpetual kind of negative feeling that you get into when, like, well, I don't feel loved by him, so I'm not gonna show him affection, because that'll show him. If you take the first step and just say to them, like, hey, I really appreciate all that you do for me, and it doesn't even have to be general. I would say go specific. Say, hey, that was really awesome of you to have done this for me the other day. It may have an immediate effect. You may see them right away want to give back to you in some way, or it might more realistically take a couple tries. So it's just planting these seeds and giving people wins anywhere you can, and you don't lose anything from this. When I compliment other people, that doesn't take away from me. I don't say, like, oh, that girl's gorgeous, like, oh, hi, you're really pretty, and usually she'll say, oh my gosh, I feel the same way about you, like, you're really pretty too. Usually it's good, or they'll just say thank you, but it doesn't take away from me. If anything, I feel happier, and again, I created this new environment where I can let people be themselves, which means I get to be myself. So by letting other people win and by giving other people wins, we let ourselves win. And this is a very significant practice I think we all need to start putting into play more. Thanks, guys.